Here are the patch notes for Empires of the Undergrowth, the custom game and achievements update. New custom game/free play maps, achievements, new difficulty options, more generous mission rewards. This major update for Empires of the Undergrowth brings in a whole bunch of new stuff, and also puts us in good stead for the final chapter and full release coming in 2024. Thanks so much for everyone who's been helping to test all the additions over the past few weeks. Headline features. New custom maps. The 2 winners of our summer map design contest have been completed and added to the game, as well as 1 more. In Prison, designed by Hie Hong. If I pronounced that wrong, I'm sorry. A swampy area that floods and drains, opening up easier access to other resources and colonies. Straw Clutch, based on a design by Noctazar. Tightly packed nests around central resources in the swamp ensures intense skirmishes with neighbors. Comes with a map option for wider space nest locations. Sandpit, a sandy peninsula designed for a 3 vs 1 setup, where the single colony has an uphill battle ahead of them. Achievements. There are now over 100 achievements for all aspects of the existing story mode and seasonal levels. Reworked difficulty settings. More resolution in lower difficulty settings with more linear gradation as they increase. Easy, medium, hard, extra, and impossible are the new difficulties, with new easy a little easier than the old, and extreme being where old hard was. Impossible is the new name for what used to be insane. Other additions and changes. Mission rewards. Mission rewards increased significantly. Rewards for a repeated play of a mission increased. Rewards for playing on higher difficulties increased. Consolation rewards for a defeat increased. Easy, medium, and hard. Although these difficulties are easier than before, they provide the same rewards they used to. Extreme. Although as difficult as hard used to be, it will provide the same rewards that insane did. Impossible. Although as difficult as insane used to be, it will provide more rewards than insane did. Creature changes. Pine Woods Tree Frog now climbable. Uber Hermit Crab is now climbable. Uber Red Velvet Ant is now climbable. Uber Mole Cricket is now climbable. Young Velvet Worm is no longer climbable. Improvements to climbing points on hermit crabs. Small harvestmen now become food on death. Jumping spiders now become food on death. Ladybirds now become food on death. Young praying mantis can now only be harvested by 1 ant. New beach creatures now spawnable in Battle Arena. Level 3 Leafcutter Media and Majors can now remove a forward fly after 2 minutes, down from 3. Custom game changes. Leafcutter colonies in custom games now start with 19 queen tiles, meaning more workers/minims and increased fungus capacity. Creature resource quantity slider added to free play options, allowing players to make creatures in their game drop more or less food if they like. Restart button added to custom game defeat screen. When spawning attack waves, free play director will now choose larger creatures to spawn if none can be found in the smaller creature options. AI harvesting process now considers the average of total and ants alive when deciding where to harvest and not just enemy ants alive. AI colonies on Towhead and Embankment will hide for a time after a flood. More creatures should spawn at the start of a custom game when using singular spawning. Environmental enemies ramp up faster in singular spawning, including skirmish. Adjustments to nocturnal/diurnal spawn timing in custom games. Free play now starts with a default save name. Graphical changes. Default FPS is now set to 60. Updated beach loading screen to use new assets. Arcade button graphics updated. Improvements to the living sea urchin decorative asset. Seaweed models updated in 2.1 and 2.2. New hat for the sand bear wolf spider. Localization. Many updates and fixes for existing languages. Hungarian, Italian, Portuguese, Turkish, traditional Chinese, Ukrainian. Other changes. New early game objectives added to 3.1 The Harvest. The idea here is that the early objectives act as a mini tutorial, so the player has a good sized leaf and refuge chamber before encountering the enemy colony. Shouldn't interrupt established gameplay otherwise. New narrator dialogue added regarding leafcutter refuse storage. Formicarium challenges now have names instead of numbers. Visual pulsing effect when the queen is at low health and has recently taken damage can be disabled in advanced options. Minor improvements can no longer be applied mid-mission. If a creature cannot transfer to the surface, it is now killed instead of just being left underground to try again. For example, when exiting an enemy nest after water has risen, creatures no longer heal in the Formicarium after purchasing an ability. Formicarium Challenge 3, now called possibly the final experiment. Easy difficulty now slightly easier. Enemy queen no longer has abilities on normal as well as easy. Mole crickets and praying mantises no longer have food reduction on harder difficulties. Adventure. Leafcutter Super Major can no longer climb creatures or carry food. Extremis. Food from killed creatures increased. Extremis now uses newer ability icons. The Calling. Tripled food from spawned creatures. The Other Foot. More time given on impossible, previously insane difficulty. Food drops from spawning creatures built up and spawn from the next drop. The Crucible demo level now has difficulty settings. Spider levels. Added sound effects to spider abilities. Increased healing from Devour by 17%. Increased max health gain by bite level. Hungry Spider. Reduced Uber Wolf Spider's attack damage down from 410 to 150. Hungry Spider. Added some queen corpses with 60 food each near the Uber Wolf Spider. Festive Spider. Early game a bit less difficult with more food. Festive Spider. Waves rebalanced in several spots. Fixes. Fixed environmental creatures with singular spawning not attacking each other. Enemy colony health bars are now properly hidden in Fog of War. Adventure-specific UI elements no longer overlap the huge whip spider health bar. UI elements no longer visible when photo mode is on during a victory animation. Fixed depth of field for cinematic cameras in several places. Minor improvements are now applied to fire ants at point of purchase. Adaptations panel jelly value will now update on purchase of minor improvements. For Mercarium Challenge 4, the final experiment, victory camera positioning fixed. Fix some old beach-style level tunnel exit to use the old one. Fix the wrong loading screen showing in some situations in a custom game. Fix some huge creatures and hybrids appearing to resurrect after a Formicarium reload. Fixed long creatures adorably chasing their own tails. Sorry. Fixed a crash when Colony 2 was empty in a custom game. Hermit crab shells and spider hats no longer receive decals. Pressing escape during difficulty selection will no longer lead to a UI overlap. Fixed an issue with dragonflies that could cause a slowdown over time. Fixed a problem in Festive Spider where an upgraded tower could be knocked back. Fixed a crash when a creature firing a projectile was deleted before the projectile lands. And those are the patch notes and details for Empires of the Undergrowth, the custom game and achievements update.